What's up, everybody? What's up? Tonight, I'm going to bring the joint Congress or joint session of Congress, not from MSNBC or NBC, anything like that. I'm going to take it from NPR. It should be somewhat of a clean feed. They may have some interruptions. I'm not sure, but it should be a clean feed. So we're going to go to that as soon as it's ready. I'll bring it up. And hopefully the audio works perfectly for you guys, but we will see. This is going to be crazy because I don't have anything in my mind that this guy will do that's successful. What is he going to talk about? We lost 650 points on stock. I mean, what's he going to talk about? That fired people? Oh, we saved you guys billions of dollars. What they say, 55 billion or something crazy. It turns out it wasn't even 55 billion. The 8 billion moved to 8 million. Another one, they had 232 million moved down to like 560,000, something like that. It's insane. So we will see when this starts what this Nimrod has to say. I'm going to bring it to you live. It's a clean feed, so we should be good. At least I hope that we'll be good. We will see in a minute or so. Hope everybody's having a good day. If anybody decides to show up for this. My show's usually at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but today I chose to wait until the show comes on for us to be able to watch this together. If you're not watching it already on your own TV, which I'm pretty sure you might be. But we'll have commentary. I don't know exactly if NPR is going to be interrupting with it, but I tried to get a clean feed for everybody. Okay? So we'll have that come up. If you guys seen the videos I put out today, it's just some insane stuff, y'all. Some insane things. Donald Trump was called, well, he said, you're smart, but it's a dumb thing you're doing. So I say, no, you're just a dumbass. Just point blank, period. I call him President Donald Dumbass. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. I don't really want to call him president. But we will see here in a few minutes. I think some people are walking in. I don't want to show somebody else's programming, but people are walking in right now. Melania Trump came in a few minutes ago. And you got the speaker and the vice president behind the podium. So we'll see that. Dumb and Dumber and Super Dumb. They got RFK Jr. walking in, having a good time while people are dying of diseases. And he's sitting around talking about take some freaking vitamins or some shit. We shall see. Now, I hope they do something insane. I hope so. Because nobody wants to see them just sit there. Nobody wants to see that. Just sitting there and doing nothing? I don't think so. I want them to get up and walk out little by little. I mean, take baby steps on the way out. But we shall see it in a minute. If it doesn't have audio, we'll get it from my mic. I think everybody's watching it. I think everybody's watching it. I don't know exactly who all's walking in now. Some of the representatives can't get a absolute clean feed of it because everybody's talking before it. But today has been kind of crazy. A lot of nonsense from Donald Trump. These tariffs are crazy. Then Donald Trump says that he's trying to thwart off Canada from adding more tariffs. So he's like, don't do it. We'll raise more tariffs. We'll just, in kind, we'll do the same thing. It's like they can turn off our electricity. I don't know exactly what we can do to them, but they can turn off our electricity. Our cars will go up to 100. You'll be able to buy a Toyota Corolla for like 75,000. He didn't say go that high, but there was a Ford truck that was $80,000, something like that, and now it's $100,000. That's insane. They go fake Lonia, plastic Lonia. She's starting to walk down. I don't respect her, period. I don't care what anybody say. I do not respect that woman. Talking about a woman who cheated on writing her own message. Just took it from Michelle Obama. I mean, verbatim. How bad you got to be that you sit around and take the the wife of the last president and take her message and just say it in your own words and have everybody think like you did it. Straight idiot. I hope NPR has a good view of this because right now their view sucks. Marco Rubio. Call him Marco Dumbo with the big ass ears. I don't see how somebody could really like have a view their entire life. Russia's bad. Russia's bad. Russia's bad. Marco Rubio. Russia's bad. Just said it not too long ago. And then Donald Trump tells him to basically go out there and change his own perspective on life. And this fool goes out there and says, well, Zelensky, he should have did better. Say what? You think you should come and talk to Russia? What? You had in your repertoire, you always talked about how bad. I mean, even on the actual Senate floor, this fool was disrespecting Russia as he should. And then Donald Trump tells him to change, and he changes. They got Pete Hegseth, the DEI hire, drunk, inebriated. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because these cars break easy. The Audi, yeah. And the thing is, the parts, I don't know exactly where your Audi parts are coming from, say with, but these parts come from all over the world. And this man's alienating everybody. Everybody. I hope there's Donald Trump. Donald Chump. I called him President Dumbass. Donald Dumbass. I would put it up. Um, if I can get the other people out of it, I bring it up. Go watch Roland Martin get his numbers up. Why am I gonna watch Roland Martin for? I got my own show. That's messed up. You all up in my show telling me to go somebody else's show. AutoZone going up? Yeah. You can go to Roland Martin, SW1. I ain't got no hatred for my boy. Tesla's down. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it going up. Andre Livingston, no doubt. Hey, Rude, Interplanet Janet, the president, and Trump, his first lady. I would call him President Donald Dumbass from now on. I created like a character, an AI character with Donald Trump looking like a jackass. I think I'm gonna roll with that for a minute and play his voice up. Every time he do something, I'm gonna have Donald Dumbass represent. But it's gonna show pretty soon. Donald's taking a long time with a senior citizen self. We're gonna have a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit here after the show. I'm gonna play it. I think he's almost there. NPR still talking. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Roland Martin, whoever that was, he has a lot of people on his show right now, by the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if he don't have his entire million watching. Even though shit sucks so much right now. Come on, Rude and Planet Janet. I'm about to start. I don't know about Trump Whisperer, but at least something like that with this new Donald Dumbass. I might do that one. Have his voice up there. Good evening. Learn to love myself. I'm about to put it up here because they taking too long, but they're just gonna have to have their shit on my show.
Striking that one half of the room is on its feet applauding, the other half is absolutely seated with their hands in their laps.
I put my hands under my ass. I was down
in the air, unbuttoning his jacket, looking out at the scene.
Come on, dipshit.
If you're just joining us, I'm Ari Shapiro, and this is live special coverage from NPR News.
We can just hear their audio, bro. Just shut up for now. Me too, Rooted and Planet Janet. I want them. I'm gonna just call you Rude too much. Rude Janet.
You can see him thanking his supporters, kind of soaking in the adulation before he begins this address.
We don't need your little. Shut it. A little narration.
I should mention that while the Republicans are standing and applauding, and the Democrats are seated with their hands in their laps, the Supreme Court justices are standing but not applauding.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
Fake Melania. Old plastic ass. Got 685 teeth.
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
How's that? A stock is down. The fuck are you talking about? Delusional land. You probably spelled that wrong.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
It's going to get worse. How you have a horrible day and you make it seem like it's a great day? What the fuck? Look at Tim Scott. Oh, milk dud.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
How? People losing their jobs? The farmers are losing their farms?
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. It's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Yeah, prescriptions are up. Insulin is higher. Insurance plans are starting to get really bad. Our stock is down so many 100 points.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
They booing them. Thank God. Thank God. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up. Look at them trying to say USA. You whack as hell. 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 You whack as hell.
Counties in our country, 2,700 to 525.
He's trying to tell them to get out. You can't kick them out, baby.
Almost completely red for Republican.
Eggs are crazy out here in LA.
For the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
Dipshit. Our economy is not doing better. It's worse right now. Yeah, the jobs report haven't showed anything yet.
Small business optimism saw its single largest 1-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Talk shit to him. Call him a bastard or something. You fat bastard.
Directed to uphold and maintain decorum.
Shut up.
House.
Shut up, you son porn watching bastard.
That's your warning.
President's speech.
Sit your ass down.
Interrupted the president's speech.
Somebody need to backslap
him. Willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the sergeant at arms to restore order to the joint session.
No.
Like Democratic Congressman.
Shut up, man.
Was disrupting, shouting, "You don't have a mandate." And then House Speaker Mike Johnson was trying to restore order.
Throw a shoe at his ass or something. Take off your shoe. Throw it at him. Throw the cane at him. Oh, diaper Don.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Slap this dude upside the head.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
This is something I don't believe we have seen in a joint address to Congress before this.
Now everybody get up and do it. Right after he leave, have another one do it.
The speech. Congressman Al Green waving his cane as he now moves towards the aisle and prepares.
He ain't the only one that got it.
Speeches like this have been
hold it off.
before.
Hold it off for a while.
Such an extensive disruption and a member being asked to leave. Deirdre Walsh is there watching this unfold. Deirdre, can you just describe?
Take your time, brother. Walk out slow.
Well, Texas
I mean, like crawl out.
Being escorted out of the chamber after he stood and disrupted President Trump's speech and argued he did not have a mandate.
Right, Jen? Make him drag me out.
Trump is resuming. Let's
Over
listen.
the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record, to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
Yep, go limp, Rude. Rude Janet said, go limp. Just fall out. Go limp. I would have laid down.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency is
Call him a liar.
Is the most successful in the history of our nation.
Call him a liar or something. Yell at him. They clapping for nothing, y'all.
And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it.
You don't have it,
Within
bro.
hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel the invasion of our country.
Mm-mm.
And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last
Right,
month
mindful,
were by far
meaningful.
the lowest ever
All white.
recorded, ever.
Couple milk duds.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were
I hear you,
hundreds
Vera.
of thousands of illegal crossings a month. And
We need the
virtually all of
Democrats to
them,
do something,
including
though.
Murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and
He should be in
insane
one.
asylums were released into our country.
Yeah,
Who would
you.
want to do that.
You're the president.
This is
You're
my
one of
fifth
them.
Such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. If I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease
This
that
is what I
would
mean about
wipe
him
out
owning them.
entire
They don't
nations,
do anything. He's
or
owning
announce
them.
the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what.
They're not achievements.
5 times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Do something first, bro. Be realistic. Mm-hmm.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why
Demon
not join
helpers.
us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
He could have did something with the pandemic. He didn't. He let people die, including my sister who passed away. Listen to this asshole. She didn't necessarily like him, but she was a Christian, and they followed him like he was crazy.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign
We'll see,
aid.
Jen James.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
They're the ones who helped us, bro.
And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
They helped us. This idiot allowed 1 million people to die.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
They clapping for everything. I went to the bathroom. I did a number 2. I changed my own diaper.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every 1 new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Democrats are a disappointment right now. Only one person did something already.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Right? Nobody's walking out. None of that.
We have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
In my nappy. Right.
And I've stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
If he talking about you being able to say the N-word is a free speech, you're going to get popped in your Adam's apple.
Order making English the official language of the United States of America.
Some racist shit right there. Official language of America.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
That ain't nothing to clap about.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
Exactly, Jen James. Why are the gyms not at least wearing the same colors?
We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector of our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
He's trying to say it won't be black. I don't care what anybody said. Woke is the N-word.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
He means white because he's looking in front of people who aren't even qualified, white people that he put in place and got rid of people of color who had experience.
Based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So Pete Hegseth is merit. The dude with no experience, alcoholic.
The
Yeah.
poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Hey, Benny Lunko, I can't stand him either, but I'm just offering a service here. We're going to talk shit about it. Male and female. There's other. They ain't going there with him.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
So if a trans person says they're not a man, then you really didn't ban anything, did you?
Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
It's crazy how one person cares about that person being on the team because she lost. Everybody else was not. Don't give a shit.
To see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or
boxing was a woman. Y'all called her a man.
Finished a long distance
born a woman.
Race, 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours.
They got a little sign that says must steals. Is this how weak they are?
For our country, we're not going to put up with it any longer.
They got little signs up there talking about must steals. This. Nobody's seeing it, yo. That's Democrats. That's what y'all got. Oh my God, they suck. They suck, y'all.
What I've just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will
common ignorance.
Never go back. Never going to let that happen.
Dems are letting this happen.
Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief.
What you doing, Nancy?
To working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of
Vera, just one man.
Millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it.
They should have interrupted him every time.
Worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Feckless. We need to get more people in office, y'all, because there's no way in hell we're going to ever beat them if Democrats are going to sit there with a damn, fucking sign that you hold up when you're in an auction. So damn little, boy.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
That's you, bro. It ain't really you, but it's under you.
Down, Secretary, do a good job on that. You
How?
A total mess from the previous administration.
You raised tariffs, bro. You're going to raise tariffs and eggs are going to get cheaper. It's the dumbest thing ever.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Some Democratic lawmakers have walked out of the room. Others are holding up black placards that say false in response to some of President Trump's remarks.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it.
We produce more oil. We were the #1 oil producer. He's lying, y'all.
Emergency.
#1 in the world. #1 oil producer. That's what we did under Biden.
As you've heard me
He's lying his ass off.
We have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
We were the #1 oil producer. We're already drilling, baby, drilling. Way more than any other president under Biden. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And Dem should be saying something. They should be loud right now.
Working on a gigantic
liar, somebody should say.
Pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Yeah, false. They got up false. Excuse me. Say it. The fuck is a sign gonna do? Call him a liar.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
Exactly, Vera. Democrats got a lot of explaining to do on how feckless they are. Even the ones who are boisterous decided not to come. Where's AOC?
New Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
You could be right, Save Wit. They're done. I wouldn't vote for them. They're too weak.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Without a suit, watch. Oh, he got on a suit. Look at him. After they said why ain't you wearing a suit? This fool put one on. Man, they just assholes, yo.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you.
Yeah, he did.
We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it.
Everything he did was to get all these lawsuits off his ass.
They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens.
Somebody tell him he's lying.
$45 billion for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation.
Vegan, you dipshit. Vegan.
$42 million for
Fucking
social
stupid.
and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very
Right, Save Wit?
mostly young people.
$400 million for vehicles that are trash.
And we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
No, they did not. They literally found I think it's like 20, I don't even think it's 20 billion. It's like, it was, what did they say? 20, it was close to 20 billion. Overall.
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation.
Lie.
And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud
president
in the
incompetent.
Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
No. It is an error.
Lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are.
That is a computer
not quite that elderly.
issue that has nothing to do with that.
3.47 million people.
They already said that.
From ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139.
Lies. Lies.
3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them.
I feel you, Maggie.
Searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159 and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old.
Lie.
We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
It's all lies. It's a computer system that's old and outdated that goes back to like whatever, 19, whatever it was. And therefore it counts from there. But
to finish,
already
1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country.
Scream what that actually is, Dems. I mean, damn.
But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft, we can find...
For Cody, no money was going out. Exactly, Rue. No money's going out to this. It's an old error.
Grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Thanks to all my members who are here. Appreciate you. Support the show if you can. This is nonsense, y'all. This is nonsense.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the
Hey, John Norris, we need to get him kicked out. Stand up and do something. That side should be empty.
24 years. Balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
It's a code, right, Magazine? I know. His golf outings. Yeah, right. Lunar nature.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship.
This is how Russian oligarchs gets into our country.
Better.
Start buying stuff up from Americans.
And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators.
Shit, what happened there? I don't know what happened there.
Insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country. We will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Crazy. I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys.
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
They were fun. Yeah, it's insane, ladies and gentlemen. It's insane. Insane.
And any federal
wrong thing here. I don't know why
bureaucrat
that's
who
on there.
resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple.
No,
And the
you are the
days of
swamp.
ruled by unelected bureaucrats
You are the swamp.
over.
They suck, yo. Them suck. They sat here and did nothing. One man and a couple other people walked out but didn't make a big issue. You didn't see it. It's insane. It's insane, people.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Craziness, yo. Crazy. No, 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 no. Tax cuts that's going to cost us another $8 trillion. No, thank you.
That's in our first term. Within a very big part of our plan, we're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. and to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
So let me get this straight. They're going to cut taxes and they're going to pay down the deficit with less money when we're $2 trillion in debt as it is every year.
Want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
There are no cars made in America, y'all. Absolutely none. All of them need like parts from other countries.
By the way, we're going to have growth
Mexico,
in the auto industry like nobody's
Asia.
ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Right, bamboozles $5 million citizenships. Where's that money go? He didn't. America does not make a car, y'all. We make cars with other parts in them.
November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
Bobby Brown Joe.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
No, you didn't. We were in a deficit, man. $8 trillion we lost because of these dipshits tax cuts. If you don't make
your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one.
All right, Jay
Other
Queen.
countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
So our prices will go up and up and up.
To keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
The way he tells it, our country could have never been great. So how is it going back to being great? Because he was a president.
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment. Which
what are they getting for this?
Done if Kamala had won.
What are they getting
Apple
for this?
Announced
Trillions, I bet.
$500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Oh, boy.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses.
Gave them money. We gave them no
money.
money.
They will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
After all this, then reduce debt. So we just ain't gonna just reduce debt. Reducing debt is like the last thing after you do all this other shit. They've never been conservative, y'all. Fiscally conservative
trade policy
is not a Republican thing.
For the American farmer, I love the farmer.
How? The tariffs are killing the farmers.
Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But
eat the rich.
Our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
The farmers are having problems right now. How is he talking about he's doing something for the farmers?
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly we just won't have a country very long.
And Canada's going to tax us on the steel.
A proud American steel worker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
What has this got to do with anything? Have shit to do with the price of eggs? Nothing. And raising 40 foster children mean he took in checks from each and every one of them. A few $1,000s for each one of them a month.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that.
A little disturbance.
No,
won't be much.
Oh.
Somebody should say something about that.
And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
She hates you, bruh. She just like herself being in front of everybody, but she hates you. Won't even hold your hand.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John.
We know nothing about this shit. And his wife's name was called Be Best. What else she got?
Thank you all very much.
Hasn't even been introduced. What's she doing? She got a new program now? She relabeled the old one?
And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody.
You haven't heard the best of it yet. I'm creating shit every
day.
day. I'm going to talk so bad about this man.
If we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country. But we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Lakin Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Lakin was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Lakin was stolen from us by a savage
Jenny
illegal
Rude.
alien
All right, thank you,
gang
Rude.
member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been
You could say that a billion times. It wasn't failed.
Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Lakin's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
They're exploiting the hell out of this lady. The death of her child. When there's been more white men that have killed people and mass murdered them in this country, they're talking about one Latin person who was a criminal. Hell, you're looking at a criminal right in front of you that raped women, stole from American citizens, 34 felonies, and you want to sit here and clap because of this?
Last year, I told Lakin's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
I'm disappointed in the Dems, y'all. Nothing. Just sitting there. One man got up and said something.
It's called the Lakin-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Lakin Hope Riley.
They used her. They don't give two shits about that woman or her child. They just know what it looks like for the public. They're little sycophants. Oh, they care. Trump don't even care about his own family. You think he cares about this woman? Is what she gets him. Your sympathy.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded.
Let me find his name.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled.
It was Reverend Al Green from Texas.
And corruption like nobody's ever seen before.
Not Reverend.
Beautiful towns.
Representative Al Green.
Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store.
Right,
Vera? She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Good stagecraft here as Vice President.
He's trying to do something nice.
Trump, the order which he is holding up in a black binder showing the Republicans.
So he can show Democrats not clapping for something nice.
Signed, and he's waving it back and forth around the room to show the executive order that he just signed, renaming this wildlife refuge.
While he fired people who work in these refuges.
Thank you very much.
At these national parks. He fired them.
Savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. If you can't do anything to support the show, I appreciate it.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them.
You're in the same category as Putin.
These terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every
honest mechanic, I don't know.
Up and forcibly removed from our country, or if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
I didn't see the Democrats clapping. I'm looking at the Republican side.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he left
mostly Republicans,
returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety.
Seek safe.
I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Have decorum, Texas Diva. I would not have decorum. It is no longer the same situation as it was before. Democrats keep playing it like it's Congress of old. It's not.
Because of our tariff policies being imposed on them. Think of this. Handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker,
right,
John Thune,
loud and angry.
I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
You want to believe he signed it so fast? Why wouldn't you want to believe that? Some dumb shit.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Then go to jail. That's what we want, law and order. You should be the first one to go right into the prison cell. That's law and order.
Years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous.
He called them lunatics and they said nothing.
Weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bond, good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
Thank you, Lunar, for support.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. One year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Texas Diva, we should all send him
sure
a Happy Meal.
Brian knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Then your people should instantly go to jail. The ones you let go that ended up hurting police officers who died because of it, all of them you just let go. But now you want to build hard on them?
For a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers, so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
How you let your child come to this? Knowing damn well he's being used. How would you let your child come to this? This man don't like police officers. He allowed them to hurt him, stab him with all kind of shit. It's insane. How do you allow your child to do this? He must have brain.
But in 2018,
cancer or
DJ
something.
was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Knew it.
The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Pandering to black people. This man hates black people, and he's doing this to say, look, I'm not racist. Because this thing means absolutely nothing. It's not like this kid's actually got a job. Why don't you bring back DEI as opposed to like putting one black child up there and act as if you give a fuck about black people? It's insane. I'm happy for the young man, but he's being used.
This 13-year-old that President Trump is talking about just received a badge and is holding it up for the Secret Service.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Didn't they just cancel some of the investment into cancer? They just canceled investments into cancer research. They cut it. I don't know about how many millions, but they cut it.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36.
People are dying and getting sick by the measles, and they tell them to just take vitamins. That's RFK Jr. Take vitamins for something that's killing them.
What is going on?
Not increase the research.
It's a very important job.
Not ask people to get the vaccine, which will help them. No, take vitamins.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It would have to be some white lady. I bet it's made up. I bet money it's made up. I thought the person was Native American. She said Little John or something.
Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
So tell kids who are transgender they can't be due to Donald Trump.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie.
Destroying trans people's lives. What have they ever done to y'all? Let them be them.
And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
This is horrific. Horrific. Telling people what they need to do.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad.
Wokeness is another word for N-word too.
And
they've been doing this.
Much better for it, don't we?
It's our turn. It literally means protect yourself, look out for people like these people.
Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
I ain't gonna make it, Elizabeth. I'm coming to join you. Right, Chin? Really?
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services.
Yeah, Benny Loco. Yeah, the 13-year-old child. Yeah, I remember that, hearing about that. I read about it. I think I did an article, a video about it last year sometime.
Just a few months ago, where
the court case
were exactly
that was thrown out.
The opposite. We couldn't recruit.
Or not thrown out.
We couldn't recruit.
She dropped it.
Now we're having
due to pressure.
The best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround.
Just about.
It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Oh, so if he wants to go to war and come back, he's a sucker and a loser, correct? Correct? This man don't give a shit about anything. He cares about manipulating people.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
So he got him into a place he probably don't deserve just yet. That's crazy. Or maybe he was already deserving of it, and they just wanted to use him. He's like Oprah, and you get what you want, and you get what you want, and you get what you want. While I take everything from everybody else.
You're going to be on the lone gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
This fool thinks we got an actual dome that covers the United States. That he wants to build one. It's insane.
Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it.
We created it for Israel. This is a dumbass. They buy the weapons from us. We created it for them.
So I want to thank you, but it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect.
Take care, Jen James. Thank you for the support.
Industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Our budget is $2 trillion over, and he wants to start another program for building ships.
American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history.
Thank you, being loco.
Up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1.
I feel you.
But that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Right? Rude.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong.
Marco.
Well, Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman.
Thank you,
he's
man,
respected
Loco.
by
Appreciate
everybody,
you.
and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job.
He's going to do a great job. He's doing a great job, but he's going to do a great job. Great job.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before.
Run fast, Greenland. Run.
But very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Inside North America, right, Rude? Texas. I feel you.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy.
Cry with happiness.
You can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
Yeah, the army of Luigi's. The army of Luigi. I got you, Rude.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. So
you see me rolling my eyes.
I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
That's crazy. He's talking about no security. We're supposed to secure them, and we were reneging on our own deal.
Another 5 years? Yeah. You would say Pocahontas says yes.
Pocahontas. Jesus Christ.
$2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion
in America, mostly
candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it.
He's making that up.
At some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
They're not ready for peace. They were still bombing after you did what you said, dude. We talking about ready for peace. Jesus Christ. Gaslighting is just sick.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight. To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler,
Indigo Soup,
Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the
he hasn't heard of
past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. Were joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
They don't look too happy to me.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
At this point, I'm giving God the side eye. Good night, Texas. Take care. Appreciate you, Texas Diva.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country. because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world.
He did, Lunar.
And gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
This is ridiculous. Just says a bunch of word garbage and people get excited about it. This man put us $8 trillion more in debt with tax cuts that he wants to do again. That'll be 16 trillion or more in the next 4 years.
First of all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit, and we are going to renew unlimited.
Good night, Lunar. Be safe. Thanks for it. You're welcome.
Every single day we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Get off the stage, Grandpa.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
You're listening to live.
They kicked you out of the stream
from NPR News.
after your last comment? Really? That's not good.
I'm Ari Shapiro. That wraps up President Trump's joint address to Congress. He spoke for more than 90 minutes with many breaks for applause and several moments of protest as well. The president trumpeted an unprecedented pace of change in his first 6 weeks in office. On immigration, he talked about...
We don't want to talk about this guy.
Saying they...
No more of them. No more. No more. All right. That was a bit insane. This man said some of the most word garbage shit you ever heard. Dems, definitely disappointed with the Dems. I am so disappointed with you. Representative Al Green was the only one who actually showed any kind of nerve, any kind of balls to do something. You guys sat there and let that man call you names, disrespected you, and all you did was sit there. He even made it that if you didn't do anything, Americans, they're dipshits who believe this shit, but Americans would think that you don't care about them because you didn't even clap about the things that he's lied to them about, and some of them believe that actually happened. What you gonna do now? Go into your own little room where nobody's watching, where there's going to be a smaller audience, and say all this shit that nobody's going to see? The time was during his speech. That was the time to show America, other Dems, even Republicans, that you was fucking tired of his bullshit. When he lied, you should have ran up and said something. You should have stood up. When he stood up, I promise y'all, I thought, okay, this is when we get started. He stood up and said something. It took a while for them to get him out. It took his time to get out. I promise you, I thought another one was just going to stand up, say something when he lied, and take their little slow ass time getting out. Then another one, then another one, then another one. No. They sat there as feckless Democrats doing absolutely shit. Screaming every once in a while some shit you didn't even hear. No spectacle made. Didn't even call the man a liar. Hell, they called Obama a liar when he was even telling the truth. They were just pissed off at him. Highly disrespectful. That's when it went out the window. This decorum shit, it went out the window when my man called Obama a liar and he didn't even get anything wrong with him. I mean, it's like, oh, just slap on the wrist. They didn't say nothing to this man. They didn't kick him out or nothing. They allowed this man to say that. Left him in the room. Didn't kick him out. He stands up and says, no, you didn't get a mandate. They kick him out the room. Every last one of you should have been in solidarity with him because Americans was in solidarity with Representative Al Green. Now, Democrats, you know that there is nobody on our side worth shit. I'm disappointed, truthfully, in AOC because she should have came and she should have made a ruckus instead of sitting at home. This is the main audience for you guys to be in front of millions upon millions of people. Everybody pretty much in this country is watching to some degree. And you sat it out. You didn't show that the Americans who were fighting against this man, you didn't show it. You didn't show that what he was doing was a wrong thing for us. You're going the wrong direction. You didn't show how angry Americans are. You just sat there. If any one of us in this room was there, we would have screamed out no matter what. We would have had a strategy to show some kind of like nerve that we really are tired of this shit. It's been 40-something days. I feel like it's been like 40 fucking years. And it just gets worse and worse because these freaking Democrats do nothing. They're just sitting there. This was the time. Well, what did you do? You know, I heard, what's his name? Tim, the vice president is running with Kamala Harris. Tim Walz. I heard him on do like an interview or something earlier today. And he said something that I was like, that's right, Tim, that's right. And he was talking about that they should go, Democrats should go to these Republican-led areas where their people just today was told that they should not go and talk to their constituents because it doesn't look good for Republicans. So they're not going to go and talk to their constituents. Democrats should be right where their constituents are. When they make these meetings, these town halls, and the Republicans don't show up, Dems need to be right there. He said he would do it. Tim Walz said, I'll go to him. He said, I thought you guys wanted people to do something for you. You brought this man in and he ain't doing shit for none of y'all. He didn't say shit, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, this is the perfect time, Democrats. You got Republicans who can't stand this man losing their jobs left and right. And you guys aren't doing anything? You're not at these town halls calling the media? With you being a Democrat at a Republican town hall? Telling them what their representatives not doing? Yeah. You guys need to be fighting. You should be talking to those constituents. Because guess what this looks like, guys? Democrats, if you're listening, Democrat leadership, had you did what I suggested, each one of y'all walked out. Then when you got out, did a press conference. It would have took the media away from him and on to you. Right? The press conference being what? Being with citizens that have been affected by Donald Trump. Then hold your own little town hall out there with people who were pissed off, Republicans who were pissed off at him for losing their farm, being in debt, programs being canceled, people wanting to know what the hell's going on with firing all these military people, all the military people losing some of their funding, all of that. They should have been out there talking to them. Guess what that looks like? It looks like you give a damn about Republicans and Democrats. It looks like America. Republicans, Democrats, independents, people who have been affected by the government. It looks like you give a damn. But no, you guys are playing this shit all wrong. Just sitting there and letting America fall the fuck apart and think we're going to run to you. How can we run to you? You ain't doing shit to help us. It's the craziest thing to sit there and say, oh, the party that's doing absolutely nothing is the party that I want to roll with. Because the other party is always fucking with me. I'm supposed to run to you who's not protecting us. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Who taught them how to fight? I don't get. That's not how you fight. You don't let the bully keep punching you in the face and then go get somebody else who just stands there and gets punched in the fucking face. You go find somebody who's going to punch that bully in the throat. That's the person who's supposed to defend you. Democrats are sitting there getting punched in the face and say, thank you. Can I have another? Thank you. Can I have another? What the fuck are y'all doing? Absolutely nothing. This was the biggest ratings you're going to have for a long time, and you sat on your ass and did nothing. Didn't take away from his audience whatsoever. Just sat there, listened to it, let him talk shit to you while you just sit there. He called old girl Pocahontas. Somebody should have said racist. Somebody should have said all kinds of things to this man and didn't stop. I won't stand for you telling these lies. I'm not going to stand for the lies. At least 2 or 3 of them should have got up and chanted that. Or even all of them. I mean, we're not going to stand for the lies. America's not going to stand for the lies. Something. No, just set your ass down and took it. Now what? You got an audience of a few thousand for each one of you guys if you have that kind of thing. Only ones who really have any kind of like juice at all is Crockett, AOC, who else? Nobody's getting in line to listen to Hakeem Jeffries. Just sit there with like a deer in headlights. I ain't got nothing against you, bro. But when it comes to this position, if you've ever seen a person in a position that doesn't act like they want it, that's him. He sits there like a deer in headlights. What we're doing is that we're going to court and we're winning cases. And we're going to stand for the Democrats and do abso-fucking-lutely nothing. That's leadership. Do abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Jasmine Crockett did something. That's one. And they probably think she's rogue for doing it. They're listening to the James Carvilles of the world. The guy who says, do nothing and let it implode. Really? How'd that work for you for the last 10 years? Absolutely nothing. You got nothing from it. You guys have been sitting on your ass for 10 years, allowed this man to destroy this country. 10 years of just sitting there, doing nothing. It's time to stop going high when they go low. You need to take their knees out. If you guys got a strategy, you need to let your people know. Because to me, it seems like y'all going every way but the right way. Jasmine Crockett doing her thing. AOC doing her thing. Nancy Pelosi just sitting there. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Chuck Schumer, don't know what the fuck he's doing. Just sitting there dazed and confused. None of y'all on the same plane. Chris Murphy out there saying some things. None of them on the same plane. They're all like shooting shit at the wall and hope it sticks. You know what gets me is that this Project 2025 document, over 900 pages, has been out for well over a year. Where is the Democrats' 350 pages to counteract each and everything in it? Huh? Don't see it. Nowhere. Don't see it. You guys had over a year, so this thing's been in the ecosphere. You haven't made shit to counteract it. You knew what they were going after, and you did nothing while you were a Democrat and in power, not in the House, but in the Senate. And as the president, y'all did nothing while you were empowered to stop this book. Anything in it. You didn't shore up something so that they can't do it. Nothing. Not a thing. You talked about them becoming an autocracy. You talked about them being like, basically like Hitler. And then you did no protection. Just let it be. They lied and lied and lied, and all you did was tell the truth. Cognitive dissonance. These people don't even understand the difference between a lie and the truth. They choose the lie because it makes them feel better. It's insane that these people are doing nothing. They're expecting the world to just wake the fuck up just because they're losing shit. You see, what Donald Trump does is he promised them shit just tonight so they can stick it in for a little bit longer. Just stick it out. Stick it out instead of stick it in. Stick it out just a little bit longer. I promise you, the sun will come up. The sun will come out tomorrow. You know how Donald Trump is. You'll see something in 2 weeks. 60 years will go by and 2 weeks have never passed. This man promised shit over 9 years ago and hasn't done it. It's coming in 2 weeks. I got an insurance, a health care plan coming in 2 weeks. He ran for presidency 9 years later, and the man had concepts, and they still voted for a conceptual president. The fuck y'all doing? You can't believe that somehow, some way, this is going to change itself. You guys have done basically nothing, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So much so, you held off, Merrick Garland. You held off. And this man should be behind bars right now. He should have been at least a year or two behind bars right now. But no, y'all stuck it out forever. Let it ride. Thought that Americans were not going to believe in what he was selling. Didn't realize how dumb America is. We got too many stupid ass people in this country. And I'm not giving them any kind of leeway. There's a bunch of dumbasses in this country that are waking the fuck up when it affects them. It's sad. You didn't see that it was going to affect other people and care about them. You only cared about the fact that you thought it wasn't going to kick your ass, but when it did, all of a sudden now it's like a big deal. You don't have to be a fortune teller to know what they were talking about doing was going to fuck up people's lives. You can't tell me you didn't know it was racist because, again, you was thinking about brown and black people's lives being fucked up. When white people's lives getting fucked up, now you're, Donald Trump, I voted for you. You weren't supposed to fuck with white people. How is that happening? I promise you, I thought you was going to fuck with them. How you fucking with us? All over the internet. On the news. Talking about I didn't know it was going to happen to me. Even government workers. In the FBI. All that. Saying, I voted for him. Really? And he said he was going to cut your department and you voted for him. You thought he was just going to keep you. Some of the dumbest shit ever. But now it done reached your doorstep. All of a sudden now you wake the fuck up. Oh, wait a minute. It's me. Oh, all this shit he's talking about is crazy. Oh, really? You was stuck in this was okay until it hit your doorstep. Which literally says you're the biggest fucking hypocrite. That's why we don't give a damn about your life falling the fuck apart. Because you didn't give a fuck about nobody else's until it reached your door. Anybody else would know, hey, look, There are literally 2.2 million employees for the government. 1.3, a little bit over 1.3, a little bit less than 1.4 of them, 1.4 million, a little less, are white people. You're going to come in and cut the government drastically, and you're just going to cut off the remaining 880,000 that are black, Latin, and other. But the million something who get paid more because this country's prejudice is racist. White people get paid more than black on a regular level, than Latin people, more than average. So you thought they was going to get rid of 880,000 jobs and keep 1 point whatever million. Y'all don't all work in the same department, idiot. So of course you guys want to get fired more. You just thought you weren't going to get fired. I don't understand how you did the math. Everybody wants the government to cut back some, because our deficit is almost $2 trillion, $1.98 trillion every year. Tax cuts caused us to go $8 trillion in debt under this fool. And they decided to do it again for tax cuts, which is going to take us more, what? Another $8 trillion or more in debt. Why would you want that? I thought this was a fiscally conservative group, the one that wanted to pay its bills. That's what they've been yelling and screaming. You can tell that the Republicans lie their ass off when they tell you they're conservative. How are you conservative when you're literally talking about creating another program? They created what? The space program last time? Space Force? He's talking about creating another program. And I'm like, how are you going to create another program when you're trying to cut Medicare? When you're trying to cut Medicaid? When you're cutting money from our military? You want to cut Social Security? And you want to start some program nobody fucking even asked for? How is that fiscally conservative? It makes no sense. But see, they give them these pie in the sky. When you listen to his speech, they offered a bunch of bullshit pie in the sky stuff. Look at the sick black baby. Look at this person and that person. Someone's trying to call me. I can get this phone off. Hold on. Stop calling me. Look at the sick black person. Little black boy, sick, cancer. Look at him as we cut the cancer research program by tens of millions. Look at everything that we're doing to destroy people's jobs and livelihood. But then we're going to put in your face all these wonderful things we've done for people while we cut these programs that did it for them. And then we're going to start a program that nobody fucking asked for that's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. How about we just cut programs that overspend on something we don't need? How about you take your time with forensic accountants and others and go through the government over time, over the next 4 years, and start cutting back sensibly, like very sensibly, right? Let's do that. Let's take time. Let's go to one department and spend like 6 to 8 months figuring out what works and what doesn't work, what is connected to, if we cut that, who, whatever. Do that deep dive into one department. Start with the biggest one. Take next to a year. Go to the Pentagon. Take a year researching all the money and where it's going and how it's going out. What contracts you have that you can get rid of. And once you find out, okay, this is how all this is working, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, because it's duplicates of the same shit. Or we can combine two different departments and have less people do something because it doesn't take as many people to do this or that. Sensical. Don't fuck up everything. Don't cut everything up and then all of a sudden say, oh, wait a minute, we need that. That's some of the dumbest shit. I've never heard anybody do that. If you do that, you are very disorganized in your life. If you cutting shit out that you think you don't need, but then you do need it, you should have did your homework before you cut it. But that's all they're doing. How many mistakes have they made so far? It's only been 47 days. They said something was $8 billion. It was $8 million. They said something was $232 million. It was $560,000. They said that the program they didn't need, and then they ended up firing everybody. Then they need them back and don't even have their emails or phone numbers to get in touch with them to hire them back. How many people make this many damn mistakes within your 90-day period of being employed? Your probation? You make this many damn mistakes. Are you still employed? No. Hell no. You wouldn't be. And then to realize that while he's doing cuts, he's offering himself deals. Since this man has gotten in with Doge, he's literally gone in and changed a contract and gave like Tesla vehicles, armored vehicles, $400 million. Fuck. Why are you getting $400 million? And then here recently, same situation, Verizon had a deal with our government dealing with the FAA. Got a $2 trillion deal. They went through the process. Verizon, Starlink, Elon's Place, and a few other people bid for this before Donald Trump came in office. Already bid, just like we do all the time. You bid for it, and then whoever comes in with the best deal, that person gets the deal. Now, Elon Musk has won deals and lost some deals. This one right here, he lost that deal to Verizon. What does he do? He goes on Twitter, dogs Verizon, gets all his little sycophants to get pissed off at Verizon, and then goes and says, we're going to cut Verizon out of this deal that they made with the government, which they already spent millions of dollars already because they've had this deal for a time now. And then they're going to cut it and give that deal to Elon Musk. How? The deal's already been signed, sealed, and delivered for them. They're just producing it right now. They've already been, yes, you got it. Not unless they did something wrong in their contract. How you going to break their contract? Verizon has a case to be had if this follows through. And I heard that it's already done, but then I read another article that says it's in limbo type of thing. So I'll find out even more. So I don't have any definites on that. I just know that's what he's done. He's gone in, got a $400 million deal for himself for these whack-ass Teslas that are trash, to make them armored. For what? The undercarriage is made of a little plastic. The shit breaks. If it hits a bump really hard, it's a wrap. The back end breaks off. Why do you want bulletproof when you can't even drive it fast enough on rock for it to freaking fall apart? Why would we be wasting that money? And then this man wants to get a $2 trillion deal that Verizon already has, that he tried out for and lost. Is this not corrupt or what? It's corrupt. I mean, come on. You can't tell me I won a contract and then put somebody in office and he puts his boy ahead of some kind of Doge program. I could see if they came in and said, well, Verizon, we gave you $1 trillion deal. We got to give you like 1.5 trillion. Because, you know, I think you kind of overspent it a little bit. You went way over. We'll do it for less. Okay. Still Verizon got his deal, but you cut some money for the people. I get it. No, you want to keep it at 2 trillion, which we ain't saving shit. So if we're not saving anything on this deal, why are we giving $2 trillion to him? That's not what Doge is supposed to be doing. Going in and taking people's contracts for the exact same amount of money. If you were doing it for less, maybe, but no. Same amount. This should be illegal. Verizon should be suing for this process and putting a hold on it so that they can't have anything to do with it. Starlink can't start moving on Jack. And I'm glad that Canada canceled Starlink's deal. It's $100 million or something like that. They canceled it today. Right, Vera? All that money, and he's begging for us. This is what I tell y'all. These rich people always want, and they get regular folks to do their bidding. You'll have regular people who are middle-class people talking about poor people fucking with welfare. Do you understand on welfare, there are hundreds of millions of dollars in welfare that every year goes unspent. Why? Because Americans have this issue, especially if you're poor. You don't want to accept something that's already set aside for you. You want to feel like I'm not poor. I don't need the government's money. All the while, rich people are like, can I get some more of that government money? Can I get some more of that government? Ain't got no shame in their game. But will say to you, look at them. They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps while they're taking $100 million bootstraps. They talking shit about you and you getting $200 a month. They're taking $400 million and producing a little bit of nothing. You know how many deals that millionaires and billionaires get with the government and they don't follow through? I'm going to create jobs when I get these tax cuts. I'm going to create jobs. Then they go buy their stock and they don't create the jobs. That's tax breaks. But then the subsidies, going and buying buildings and stuff like that and say we're going to build this building for whatever, how many million. They build it for less million. They get to keep the rest of it. Anything they overestimate, don't go back to the government. Don't go back in our pockets. It goes in their pockets. So that's when they go and get everybody and say, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you. Well, the government already don't gave me $30 million to build this place. If I don't pay everybody, who cares? That's what Donald Trump used to do. That's what his dad used to do. I'm disappointed in Americans. We allowed this shit to happen and we still let it happen. I say, just like someone said earlier, eat the rich. The rich is killing us. And we keep voting them in as if they give a damn about us. Tell me when as a Republican, at least a Democrat will mention that they want to help us. They make plans and strategies and programs that actually help us. Republicans do not. Their thing is, I'll give you money back. Okay, then what? Oh, that's it. You mean you're going to give me $4,000 and that's going to help me? Yeah. For how long? About 4 or 5 months, if that. Then I'm back to the same place I was at before? Yep. What about the millionaires? Oh, they're getting a lot. They're getting a lot. They're going to buy stock. They're going to buy back stock. They're going to buy property. Yeah, and they're going to raise your rent up with that money. Yeah, giving them money back is going to hurt you. But at least it won't hurt you for the entire year. You get like at least a 2-month break. So if I don't get this money, then I'll probably do better. Yeah. But you're greedy as fuck, so you're going to want this $4,000. It's $5,000. Yeah, you're going to want it. But if you take it, your life's going to be fucked. But if you keep it, if you don't take it, then we're going to be pissed off because we really want these millions and millions of dollars. These tax loopholes that these people get are another way for them to make money off the government. The money that should be going in to pay down some of this deficit, or at least break it to the point where we spend $6.9 trillion in our budgets. We put $4.44 trillion into the pot. We're 1.98 or something like that, whatever it is. 1.98, 2 trillion, let's put it this way. $2 trillion under. So if we're $2 trillion under every year, that's the reason why during Donald Trump's reign, we were, $8 trillion more? And he wants to give you a tax cut, which is going to cost America about $4.9 trillion. Hello? 4-point-something trillion you're going to give back. How about you take, if you got it like that, take that tax and pay off the debt for the next 2 years. Or put it toward our actual national debt, because we're paying only the interest. We ain't even paying the principal on that shit. It's insane. These people are horrible at finances. I would not allow them to take care of my household as far as finances go. And I ain't even got it like that. I'm just saying, I know enough about this that I would not allow them to handle my income, nothing, not a damn thing, if they ran it like the government, these Republicans. He talking about create a program, ain't even paying for itself. How does this program pay for itself, Donald Trump? You talking about the programs that we got already don't pay for themselves. We're $2 trillion in the hole. You're going to create another one for what? Why don't you get rid of a part of the space program, Space Force? We didn't have it before. It was a part of the Air Force. Why don't you just let it back to the Air Force and let them do their thing and get rid of the rest of this Space Force so that we can take back a few $1 trillion or a few 100,000 or million rather? How about that? There's so many ways that we can try and fix this. Republicans never have a plan to do it. They have a plan to fuck it up while telling you they're fixing it up. Just look at the past. They have never done anything great for this country when it comes to finances. They're like the tax cut kings. Let me give you more tax cuts. Let me give you more tax cuts. They talk about Reagan like he's some Adonis and shit like that. This man raised taxes like 19 times because he kept fucking cutting them to the point where we were in trouble. They don't tell you all this. They make it seem like he was this great guy. He was not. He was racist as fuck. Said black people were basically monkeys. And he's surprised they can walk on their own 2 feet. Him and Nixon. Go look it up. It's on tape. Record it. From the White House. It's insane, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. And I'm no longer, going to sit here and listen to, right at this moment, the Democrats done lost me. I wouldn't vote. I'd vote for a dog before I vote for a Democrat at this point. You guys have got to fix it up. Somebody got to start running that literally has some kind of like guts. Because right now, they're gutless. Gutless. Nothing. Nothing. 1 or 2 of them will be on the news tomorrow, if not sometime tonight, in front of the Capitol, in front of that one little whatever statue in the back, just saying a bunch of bullshit. Some cookie cutter bullshit. Something they could have just got a script. Well, we are going to do abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Because George Carville told us not to do it. And we stick to the script because we're feckless. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, a lot of people revere Reagan. I don't understand why. I definitely don't understand why black people would. I don't get it, but they do. They'll mention his name. Hell, even like Obama and a few other these other politicians be bringing up his name for some shit. Even Lincoln. None of it. I don't get it. Lincoln said that black people would never be like equal to white people. We're not smart enough and shit of that nature. He said a bunch of shit back in the day. Some people read his papers or something like that. He started to change later in life. Well, I don't give a fuck what he tried to do at the later end of his life. He didn't change. I don't care about a person changing. Did he change? No, he didn't. But could he have gotten there? Possibly. Or he could have turned and did like this Trump shit. Went opposite direction. We don't know. But what you've read so far, he hated us. Some people say, oh, he was actually a Aborigine. He was part black or whatever. I don't care. Just like I don't give a fuck about Byron Donalds. He's black, and look what he thinks about black people. I need to stop that shit. The shit that he says about black people, going around telling black people that this man ain't racist. Where is Byron Donalds' job after going around there making all these black dudes stupid enough to vote for Donald Trump? Where is he at? Did he give him a job for doing that hard work? Fuck no. Sitting out in the audience looking like a simp. All that work for nothing. just to get black people to capitulate. These stupid ass black men, I'm gonna go and vote for Donald Trump. You dipshit. Talking about it kills me. Our bills gonna go down. When's the last time you made your bills go down? But we had money when Donald Trump. No, you didn't. Quit lying. You did not. You know what you had? Stimulus checks. You know why you had it? Because he was a fuck up. You wouldn't need stimulus checks if this man had checked himself when he was told that this shit was going to be 5% worse than the flu. You mean tell me it's going to be really bad? Yeah, it's going to be really bad. He knew that. And he told Americans, I'm going to play this shit down. It ain't nothing but the flu. Worse than it. It's going to go away in a minute. Just like you put light in it, you put some ammonia in it, like the little hand sanitizer. I'm going to see how we can get hand sanitizer and light into your skin so that you can kill it in like a minute. Dipshits are us. The moment he said that, the whole country should have been like, nah, he got to go. What the hell he talking about? Another thing, Dems, why ain't y'all talking about this man senile as fuck? He the president now. When Biden was the president, they were talking about how decrepit and old he was the entire time. Not one of y'all has come out and said something about this decrepit fuck. Not one. Anyway, I'm about to get out here and get something to eat. I am done. I understand y'all couldn't take it for long. I mean, I gave you as much as I could for the show, but whew, it's taking a lot out of me. I watched it just like you did. I was happy to provide it for y'all. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe to the channel, like, share, push the algorithm. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, so please tell people about it. Trying to get to 20,000. If you want to support the show, you can become a member. And I had on the screen earlier, you can see all the things that I had that you can help support the show and grow the show so that we can start getting people, to actually come and converse with. I want to talk to some of the farmers, the people who get into the thick of it. I want some of those farmers to come and have a conversation with them. I want to, interview some people about what's going on. I want to be like the man of the people. I don't give a fuck about all these Democrats coming on because they ain't going to do shit. I want to be a part where the people get to speak and tell us what the fuck is going on in their communities. I'm going to talk to some black farmers. I'm going to talk to some people who've been fired from this dumbass. That's what I'm trying to do. So we're going to try and do that. So please, do what you can to support the show so I can be able to get them on the show. As you can see, I'll put it up right now. This is a way to be able to support the show. I have, Cash App, all that, PayPal, whatever. So if you can be able to support it, we'll continue to grow and get things better for what we're doing. All of you are already supporting me. I love y'all. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We're going to continue to try and do our thing. I know a lot of y'all are tired. I know I am. I've been spent all day hearing about this BS and was hoping. I had so much hope for you, Democrats, if you're listening. I had so much hope for y'all. I'm talking as if I'm not one, but I don't feel like I'm one of y'all. Nope, I'm not on y'all team with the way y'all played this shit out tonight. You are by yourself. Y'all can sit in the corner over there and play this little baby shit all you want. I want grown-ass women and grown-ass men to the front. If y'all ain't one, sit your ass down. We ain't got shit to say to you, and we don't want to hear shit from you. All this bullshit y'all did today, nope. In front of millions of people, biggest audience, and y'all sat there. Feckless. One person. Representative Al Green, much respect and love to you, brother. If I was in your district, you got my vote. At least you stood up. Representative AOC, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't show up and show your ass out there. You're supposed to be a leader. You should have been there and went disrespectful. You should have went against anything that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi told people to do. You should have went 180. Would have had respect for you. And that I still love you, don't get me wrong, but this one was a wrong move. Jasmine Crockett, where were you at, sis? Where were you at? I was counting on you to say something. I wanted you to come in with another, butch body, bad body, whatever, bad built. I wanted one of those. I needed one of those. And you came with nothing. I don't even know if he was even there. Failed. The only person who gets love today is Representative Al Green. Much love to you, brother. Much love. Thank you for supporting the people. Thank you for standing up. Even if it was for something very menial about like he got a mandate. I don't give a shit about that. What you should have stood up for is one of the other lies he said. But at least you stood up for a lie. The rest of them just sat there. No protest. Piece of, you know what. Eye Keeper said, you love those little fact signs. Yeah, but, you know, depends on what program you was watching. You didn't see them. You saw them rarely. You saw them like you was watching like a MSNBC. I got a bunch of things just sitting up here. MSNBC, NBC, CNN, all stuff like that. You would see them. But if you was on other channels, you wouldn't have seen them. If you was on the clean feed, you wouldn't have seen them. You know what I mean? And even then, I get you. It's good to see. But to me, I mean, they're doing business as usual. And business as usual is not the game plan. This stuff is what's going on right now with these Republicans and other people. It is ingrained in their mind that everything is upside down and they believe they're right side up. And the only way you can do that is throw a shock to the system to change it. The shock to the system for the other ones who came out of it was losing their jobs. They fucking woke up. So if they realize that losing their jobs and their livelihood is going to wake them up, then do shit to wake them up. Go around telling them they lost their jobs because of Donald Trump. Tell the other people you're going to lose your job too if he has more cutbacks. Every department that this man said that they were going to have to cut back on, you guys should be at every last function talking about if you got a person working for this, you should have ads on TV. Y'all still got money. Put ads on TV. Donald Trump is firing all the Americans. You won't be able to eat. You won't be able to do this. Even if he ain't fired you yet, if you're working for the government, you're on notice. Talking about this immigrant firing y'all. You should literally put him out on Front Street that he's an immigrant from South Africa and the crazy shit he done said over his lifetime. He's firing Americans. You should be upset. Nope. Sitting on their ass. Sitting on their ass doing nothing. Saying the same old shit and expecting a different outcome. We need new Democrats, ones that can't stand the old guard. We don't want somebody who's coming in there and kissing the ass of the old people. Respect them, but look at them like, yo, y'all feckless. Move on out. It's time to bring some people in that's going to be tough. Respectful when they need to be, and when you disrespect them, they go off like they should. Donald Trump is a bully. You punch a bully in the nose. You don't nice him out of the way. You punch him out of the way. That's why he sat there and disrespected so many Democrats in his speech, and they have nothing. They could have got up and said something to him so disrespectful and then took their ass out of there real slow. But nope, they want to play it like they're the old Democrats of the old. We ain't going through the same shit that we went through before. I want us to go back to the old days of how, even though you can agree to disagree, but none of them are on that. These Republicans are clapping about lies, and they know they're lies. And another thing, this is the last thing before I go. I don't know if you guys know it. I did a video about it a while back ago. It was a week or so ago, maybe. And it's about Project 2025. The guy who created that, Russ, I think it's Russell Vogt. How you say it, Vogt. Russell Vogt. He was caught behind the scenes in an interview with rich men. He thought he was pitching to rich men what he was going to do to us Americans. And if you don't believe that he had this meeting with these rich men, you don't think he had the same meeting with Elon Musk? You don't think he had the same meeting with any of these major billionaires? Elon Musk was doing it. You know that the head of Apple was doing it, Tim Cook. They had these meetings with the billionaires in this country. They thought these men were billionaires. They came into this room and told these two men about Project 2025. And then they said there is a part 2 to Project 2025 that's behind the scenes that won't be released in the public eye. That was really the actual plan that they were going to do. The people how they're going to hire the people, every strategy that they were going to do. The things they're doing right now are exactly in that book. That's the playbook they've been building for years that Donald Trump commissioned. That said, he lied to the people and said, nah, I don't know nothing about it. He commissioned it. He told Russ Vought to make this thing, and he did. It goes through all the deception. Donald Trump is a part of it. He has to protect his brand, so he has to say he's not a part of Project 2025 until they get into office. Now, Russ Vought didn't think that they had the balls to actually put his face on it because he's like, oh, people don't like me, and it's a lot of stuff going on. They end up putting him in front of it. Now, Democrats, this is the question I got for y'all, you leadership people. Donald Trump's people, this guy Russ Vought, literally said this in the documentary. It's his words. It's absolutely him. We have a thing when you get into the government. The things that he's talking about doing aren't classified, even though he want to call them classified. Can't have something classified when it's not a part of the government whatsoever, right? This person has literally came in with a plan, a game plan that they won't show America. There's something called the Freedom of Information Act. They have to release information that we ask for. Why hasn't the media, why hasn't Democrats asked for the full plan that Donald Trump and his minions are actually working off of? That way they can thwart off some of the shit and put it out in the open for everybody to see. Why ain't nobody fighting for that? If you have to go to court for it, why aren't you fighting for that? Expose it to all of America, what this full-on plan is. We got the 967-page one, or 36-page one, whatever it is. But that right there is basically 900 pages of fucking bullet points. They got a bigger book that's actually telling them exactly what to do. And trust me, Doge is in that book because Doge was thought up of because these people went to him and had him ready. This entire thing that's happening, it was a maniacal deep state plan. Here's the thing that kills me. They talked about the deep state over and over again. There was no deep state. There was no such thing. Ask them who the deep state is. They wanted to kill the deep state. They made it up. You know who the deep state is? Donald Trump and his people. They're the only ones doing shit behind the scenes and won't tell nobody, and they're destroying everybody's lives in the process. That's a deep state. Cognitive dissonance. These fools think that there was a Democratic deep state when there's been a Republican deep state the whole time. Did the Democrats have QAnon? No, they did not. It's strange how during Republican reign, this QAnon shit came up and somehow was giving American information. And it wasn't a Democrat thing. It was a Republican-led thing. Made up out of whole cloth. We never heard of it before. All of a sudden, it's giving us information, which I believe it was Trump the entire time. Because you notice, once Trump left, where did deep state go? Where did this QAnon shit go? It disappeared. We didn't hear nothing else about it. If it was out there, it wasn't in the news anywhere. Then all of a sudden, when Donald Trump comes back in, they're talking about deep state again. Where the fuck is the deep state? Donald Trump's the deep state. They're the ones working behind the scenes trying to destroy democracy. Now they got these fools believing it's somebody else and it's actually fucking them. How insane is that?
Republicans are literally in the deep state talking about they're trying to get rid of the deep state. They got you guys so confused and discombobulated. You're a dipshit. You literally believe that there's a deep state while acting as the deep state, bringing up lies, talking about conspiracies and shit that have no validity, no facts, no receipts, nothing. You just made this shit up out of whole cloth. That's the deep state. You never have receipts, but yet you believe it's true. We bring receipts and you think it's lies. Actual facts, you think it's lies. That's what it's all about. So I would love for the Dems to ask Freedom of Information Act, or if you have to sue, that plan they have behind the scenes, because that is not something that is classified. Has nothing to do with our government, has everything to do with their maniacal plan to take over our government. We should have access to that. Period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here. You've been listening to the Mr. Straight Facts show, where I bring you straight facts and also break down some of the BS that they say. I do my best to do it. It's only one of me, but I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all. What is today? Today is Tuesday. I'll see you guys tomorrow after 5 p.m. Depends. I have a function. I should be out of there by 4 and get home to be able to do the show at 5 or a little bit after. So I appreciate everything. Much love to y'all. And I'll see y'all at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. Y'all take care. Much love.